Hi class, so you just went over on the previous two slides, you just went over how to compare absolute values. Okay, you compared them here. You find out which one's smaller than the other, less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay, now if you ran out of room, like me over here, I ran out of room. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go on the back of it, and now I'm gonna start the new page here. Okay, now it's this one right here. Okay, so we're still on absolute value, and it's this time the question is, how do I order them? Now I gotta put these in order now. So let's go ahead and do an example. There's an example right here on the slide about ordering these numbers. Okay, take a look at it, and then we're gonna go ahead and go over it now. All right, guys. All right, so we have our example, which, like I said, it's over here on this side. Okay, order from least to greatest. Okay, so you got to order from the smallest to the biggest. Okay, least to greatest. So we have the absolute value of -5, the absolute value of -2, the absolute value of 1, the absolute value of 4. So what you're going to do first is right below these, you're going to write the absolute value of them. So that's step 1. So what's the absolute value of each one of these? What is the distance from 0 of each one of these? We've already been working over some of these, so this should be much easier. So the absolute value of -5. What is the distance of -5 from 0? The answer is 5. What about this guy? The absolute value of -2. What is the distance of -2 from 0? It looks like it's 2. And then what's the absolute value of 1? 1. And then what is the absolute value of 4? What is the distance of 4 from 0? So it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay? All right. So now we have them all. Now let's put them in order from least to greatest. Step 2. So we have 1, 2, 4, and 5. So it looks like this is first, this is second, then this is third, and this is the last one. So look, now we have them in order. We can't put them in order when they're like this. You can't. You can try. If you can do it, then you know how to do this. Great. Okay, so this is step 2. And now the last step. Let's put these back into absolute order form. Let's put them back. So here we go. So this one was this one. So it's absolute value of 1. This one was this guy. So absolute value of -2. And then this one, this 4, was this guy. So the absolute value of 4. And then the last one is this guy. So the absolute value of -5. Okay? This is what you're going to write on this paper, okay? You're writing it on the back now, or if you have room on the first page. If not, you're on the second page. You're copying this down, okay? All right. So now, if you think you know how to do this, okay, go ahead and do the rest. There's two of them. There's number 4 right here on the bottom, and there's number 5. Okay, go ahead and do them. Do them and do them on the slide if you want to. If not, if you want to do them right here with me, then go ahead and stick around, stay, and we'll do number 4 and number 5 here together. All right, guys. All right, so here they are. So number 4, it's the same one that's right here on number 4, okay? It's the same one. So order from least to greatest. So we have the absolute value of 11, the absolute value of -12, the absolute value of -8, and the absolute value of 6. Let's put these in order from least to greatest, from smallest to biggest. Okay, so step 1. Let's change these back to just regular numbers. So the absolute value of 11 is, yes, good. It's 11. Thank you, James. Okay, this one, the absolute value of -12. What's the absolute value of -12? What is it? Yes, it's 12. Thank you, Isaac. And then this one, the absolute value of -8. What is the absolute value of -8? What is it? 8. Thank you, Marari. Thank you. And then what is the absolute value of 6? Okay, the absolute value of 6 is 6. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Kachu. All right. So here they are. So I have 11, 12, 8, and 6. Now we got to put them in order from least to greatest. So it looks like the first one is 6, then 8, then 11, and then 12. Okay? And step 3 is put them back in absolute value order. So this guy was this one, so it's absolute value of 6. This guy was right here. This guy over here, the next one is 11. So 11 was this guy. So the absolute value of 11. And the last one is this one. So now it's in order from least to greatest. You see how it looks like this instead of looking like that? Okay, we're done. Let's go on to number 5. All right, so here's example number 5, which is, like I told you, it's right here on the bottom of this slide. Okay, you're either doing it on here like this, you're writing the actual work down, or you're just doing the work on the slide. Okay, so order from greatest to least. So I have the absolute value of 1.5, the absolute value of -7, the absolute value of 10, and the absolute value of -5.5. Okay, so we got to change these first to, we got to get the absolute values of each. Okay, change them to regular numbers. So what is the absolute value of 1.5? The absolute value of 1.5 is 1.5. The absolute value of -7 is 7. It's 7 spaces from 0. And then the absolute value of 10 is 10. And then the absolute value of -5.5, sorry. The absolute value of -5.5 is 5.5. Okay, then step 2, you got to put these in order now. Okay, so from greatest to least, from biggest to smallest. So we have 10, 7, 5.5, and then lastly 1.5. And now number 3 is, let's change them back to absolute value form. So this 10 was this guy, 7 was this guy, 5.5 was this guy, and then lastly was 1.5. So it's this guy right here. Okay, we're done. So we're done with example 4 and example 5. Okay, so now if you did all this work 4 and 5, and you also did all this work, then go ahead and take a picture of it and put it on the next slide. All right, guys. Now some of you might have just done the work on the slide. That's fine. So you probably don't have this work, number 4, number 5. That's okay. But make sure you do have a picture of this. All right, guys. Have a good one.